you strike me down now, I will become more powerful than you'll ever. Monkey Dragon. Hey YouTubers, it's me, Monkey Dragon here, bringing you some Black Ops 2 information. I was searching the internet the other day and I found this article and it had some information that I found useful and I thought I would share it with you guys. And let's begin. First thing it touched on was the knifing system, and in most Call of Duties since World at War, I like to think the knifing system has gone a little AWOL, in the sense that in World at War you pretty much had to be right up at the guy, and if you weren't looking at him or touching him, or if you weren't face to face, you weren't going to get the knife kill. There was many a times where I knifed and me and these guys would pass each other. We would knife and we would just get air. We would be doing all this crazy stuff and we wouldn't get anything on each other. And you know what? That was fine. It was completely cool with me. At the time, I didn't like it because I was still new to COD, because that was my first Call of Duty. But if I would have known it would have gone to such lengths as the Modern Warfares, I would have gladly preferred it, and I still do. Because if you haven't played with me, or if you don't know me that well, I absolutely hate knifing. The only times I knife is if I see a guy and I'm like, ha ha ha, I'm teabagging him, and then I knife him, just to F with him. But in a gunfight, I hate knifing, especially in buildings or in close quarters, because then when you're shooting at a guy, it seems like they teleport. Like there's like a good 4 feet that they teleport to you, and in that 4 feet that they teleport, you lose 2 bullets on them, and those 2 bullets could have killed them. And I've always wondered, in what world, when you knife, you jump 5 feet? No, never mind. I'm not going to get into it. But I hate knifing. And anyways, so in Black Ops, they're actually going to drastically reduce the distance for the knifing kills and the lunging aspects. And I like this because, as you know, I hate knifing. So I thought it was a pretty cool thing. And now they're bringing this back, and if you guys have watched any of the gameplay coming out for Black Ops 2, you know that there's interactive maps. And in Black Ops, some of those interactive parts of the maps could change the battlefield drastically. Like in Radiation, when you're playing Demolition, it completely changes your gameplay of whether or not the big doors on the roof are open or not. Because then if they're closed, you just got right in center and have a guy watching your back and you're done. But if you have those doors open, you're susceptible to stuns, flashes, smokes, RPGs, grenades. They could just onslaught you when you're trying to watch that bomb, and it makes it hell trying to defend the bomb site. But having those doors closed, and all it takes is your buddy going up top, pushing the button, and then just maybe defending the button, depending on how smart the enemy team is, whether or not, okay guys, we need to go open those doors. Although most of the time people aren't that well coordinated and they can't really think about opening the doors. But anyways, I like the fact that they're bringing back the interactive maps. I was hoping they were going to do it in Modern Warfare 3. They didn't, unfortunately. Boo-hoo, whatever. It's done and over with. But yeah, I'm glad to bring it back. And they also touch a little bit on sprinting. They don't really say much, but what they're saying is, and this is, I take it for quote here, is you'll be able to sprint longer and harder. I have no idea what the harder part means. I understand sprinting longer, so you'll be able to sprint for longer distances. That doesn't necessarily mean you'll be able to sprint faster, because it just means longer. But I don't get the harder part. Maybe that's the faster part. I don't know. I've never heard someone say, man, you're running hard. I don't know. I've never heard that before. Anyways, so, and they also touch a lot on zombies, and I won't relay all the information because it's pretty much everything you heard. There's going to be 3 game modes. There's going to be a story mode with 5 different sectors inside the story mode. There's going to be the standard survival mode, and then there's going to be grief mode. And if you guys don't know what grief mode is, it's pretty much 2 teams of 4 of humans, and it's 4v4 v zombies. And pretty much, from what I understand of the game mode, it's a last man standing game mode, in the sense that it's pretty much the last man standing. You can pretty much, it's a trolling game mode. If you like messing around with your friends, or not even your friends, you just want to mess with people. You can't kill each other though, but this is why I say it's a trolling, is because, you know, you can get like a riot shield and block them in a door and be like, ha, 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 I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. And it's the last person standing. then pretty much trolling is going to be rampant. You can revive anyone you want. You can't kill anyone other than the zombies. But yeah, that's why they call it griefing, because you're pretty much trolling. You can, haha, I'm not going to revive you, or haha, I'm kind of leading a whole bunch of zombies over to you. No, run a circle, get a whole bunch of zombies, lead her over to his little building, pull out your right shield, hide in the corner. I don't know. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. I think it'd be an interesting thing. And they also touch a bit on the crossbow. And if you play Black Ops and you use the crossbow, this next thing I'll say to you is the most amazing thing ever, because I love the crossbow, is they're bringing attachments to it. Yes! They're bringing back, well, not back, they never had attachments before, but they're bringing an ACOG sight, a red dot sight, and a thermal scope. And this last thing I am so excited for. I'm glad they're bringing it, because in Black Ops I actually asked for this, and I was like, please, please, on my Christmas list, I want this. Is a horrible. Is they're going to be bringing a three-prong system, or not a three-prong, but a three-fire system for the crossbow and its attachment. To pretty much that you have 3 bolts on your crossbow, and you can go boom, fire, boom. It's a crossbow. I won't make sound effects. I'm sorry. That was horrible. You can pretty much fire your crossbow 3 times, you know, and you only have to reload, you know. That I was gonna do the sound effects thing. That's why I got awkward signs there. People hate my sound effects, but they're mine. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, that's exactly what it's gonna sound like. But anyways, yeah, that's freaking cool. I'm glad they're bringing attachments to it. You know, I'd probably put like a red dot sight in the 3-prong system. You know, just do, and you're gone. See, there's my sound effects. Get used to it. And they're actually changing the scavenger perk, and I love this. I liked it from the Modern Warfare 2 standard, but there was one problem with it if you played Modern Warfare 2, was with claymores. And Modern Warfare 2 was where camping was wild. Is to where you place the one claymore, you get the kill with the claymore, you run down, you pick up the scavenger pack that you got the kill with the claymore, and then you place the claymore back where you just got it. And then if you got a double kill, you got another kill with another guy there, you can start setting up more and more claymores, obviously maximum up 2, but still it allowed camping a lot higher. So to get rid of this in Black Ops, they pretty much cut out resupplying. All you really get is your guns and tomahawks. That was it. And that made it so hard to try to play tactical in the game, in the sense that now you only get 2 stuns. I'm not talking about just you only get 2 stuns for the entire game, but for life. You know, in your life you only get 2 stuns, so that if you're, let's play domination or something, and you're trying to clear through a building to sneak around to get there, and you're like, I know there's a guy in this building, you throw a stun in there, and you get no hit markers, so you're like, oh, dang it, now I only have 1 left, I can only clear 1 more room, and now you're like, oh man, when should I use it, when should I use it? So then now it made it a special commodity, and you couldn't really play tactical and use those stuns when you really need it, because if you got a kill, it wouldn't resupply it, and then you're pretty much just out in the open, you're like, oh man, what's with this? But now they're actually also going to be resupplying your claymores, your grenades, your stuns, your RPGs. It's resupplying everything. But they put a tweak on it, and I actually like this, is if you get an explosive kill, it does not drop a scavenger pack. It has to be with a gun, with a knife, or obviously with a crossbow, or with a kill streak, and it'll drop a scavenger pack. Not with an explosive, so that it minimizes camping. And they're actually minimizing camping a lot in Black Ops. I'm not saying there won't be camping, there'll probably be a lot of camping, but I'll do a video on that later on. But anyways, yeah, I like that they're changing it to where it resupplies everything back. And now they're also saying that the recoil is going to be a special part in Black Ops 2, because if you play Black Ops, you know that some guns had a weird kind of recoil, like the Commando, which is supposedly the accurate assault rifle, had this weird circular pattern, or figure 8 kind of pattern when you shot it. And it just took a little bit of finesse to be able to kind of keep it on the same spot, just a little bit. And now they're saying this is going to be especially important. I don't know if that means that all guns have high recoil and they need to put, you know, the grip on, or special stocks on, or sights. Or if this just means a gun has a natural kind of sway to it, like I was just saying with the Commando, and you just need a little finesse to try to keep it under control. I haven't played the game, so I wouldn't know. And now they also just touch a little bit on sniping, saying that it's kind of back to the way they originally was, to where it's a lot easier to snipe. Because if you play Black Ops, you know that sniping was kind of a little bit difficult, in the sense that you couldn't really quickly scope in and shoot. I'm not saying quick scope, I'm saying quickly scope and shoot, because if you snipe legitimately, not quick scoping, is you're watching a huge area of the map and you're just kind of scanning. As soon as you see a guy, you might only have like 10 feet, for he may be clearing like 10 feet, but at that distance it only seems like a couple seconds to clear that distance. So you need to quickly scope in, find him, hold your breath, get your sight steady, and fire within those couple of seconds that he's in your line of sight. And because they were trying to stop quick scoping, it made it very difficult. So even if you had it right on his freaking dome and you fired, the bullet can go 50 feet off to the left, and it made sniping very difficult. But they're saying that they're going to be changing it to where it's a lot easier to snipe. They're bringing back aim assist, but it's minutely there, so that you can still get a little bit of help, but to try to minimize quick scoping. And they're also saying that the spawn points are a lot better, or the spawning system, because in Black Ops I personally love the spawn system to where it always seemed it spawned you with your team on the opposite side of the map of the enemy team, to where, say it's like a straight line, your team runs all the way into the enemy spawn, they're going to spawn up behind you, and depending on where you were, they would spawn up on the opposite side. And if you think about any really map, let's just say firing range, if you guys had the bathroom side, then they would probably spawn up on the bunker side. And if you guys had the I'm trying to think of what it's called, the firing range side, they would probably spawn up on the, I can't even think of it, the construction side. It was always like it seemed it spawned you on the other side. Obviously there were stronger spawn zones, but I did like the fact that you always spawned with your team. I really did like that. And quickly, as we're reaching the end of the video, they're changing the sensitivity system from a 1 to 10 scale to a 1 to 14 scale. So you guys may want to be aware for that. You're going to might take a little bit to find your special sensitivity again. And it also seems like they're going to be decreasing the range on the SMGs, in the sense that they say here, and I've been hearing this a lot, that it's a lot harder to get kills at far range, but at close range it seems pretty powerful. Okay guys, since we reached the end of this video, like the video if you liked it, subscribe to me if you want to see more of my videos. Don't forget to tell your friends about me, because who doesn't want to make 20 bucks? I'm Monkey Dragon. That's all I got. Peace.